So welcome everyone to another episode of A County for Old Cars, and you join me today in the West Suffolk village of Long Melford. My plan is to take advantage of this sort of gap in the rain that we've had for the last sort of 3 months and just explore some of the villages that sit between the A134 and the A143. And there's some particularly pretty country roads that we're going to try and have a look at today, flooding permitted. And given that we're in the first week of March, we'll see if we can even find some daffodils just to, well, cheer us up in the hope of spring round the corner. So you'll join me in a second and we'll take off and see what we can find. Just coming down now into the centre of Long Melford. And this is a stunning village. Its wealth, I think, largely built on the back of the wool trade 400 years ago, and you can see evidence of the sort of oak frame architecture all around us. But it obviously had a renaissance, as a lot of the Suffolk towns, or these large Suffolk towns and villages had during the 18th century, and so there's quite a bit of Georgian architecture, a lot of Georgian facades here. But this village is strategically important because it is on the main road, really, from Bury St Edmunds to Sudbury, and so again another route in and out of London, linking Suffolk with Essex and so forth. But if you're coming to this part of the world to visit, then Long Melford is really one of those places that you need to sort of come and see. You've heard me talk in the past actually about the importance of buildings like maltings for the brewing industry, and here is one example just ahead of us. This has obviously been long converted into apartments and houses, but very kind of you. You get the idea. We'll appropriately named Barley House, and as we were saying in my video on rivers, rivers like the Stour and the Glem were all used for transporting barley from literally from farm to maltings and then on to the breweries. And this was largely due to the fact that water transport was so much more efficient than the roads at the time. So Long Melford has a great range of sort of local shops. You've also got galleries and pubs and restaurants here. So there's quite a bit to see and do if you're sort of popping or passing through. So there are 2 country houses in this village of significance. One Kentwell Hall, which is a beautifully preserved Tudor country house, and that's something that is worth a visit during the summer. But off to our right here is Melford Hall, which was the seat of Admiral Lord Hyde Parker, famously Nelson's commanding officer. And I think the historians among you, or naval historians, will be able to tell me if I'm right about this, but I think Hyde Parker's sort of most famous moment is actually Nelson's, when Nelson chose to ignore the Admiral's signal by placing his blind eye to the telescope. For the life of me, I cannot remember which battle this was, but I had a feeling it might be the Battle of the Nile. So do tell me in the comments if I've got that wrong, and correct me, please. So we're just leaving Melford now and heading west, and these are some really nice driving roads actually. In the summer you can expect it to be quite a bit busier because, for obvious reasons, this is a sort of a focus of tourism locally. But at this time of year, a little bit quieter. Obviously we're here on a Sunday, and we're about to turn right because I want to explore two villages in particular. One of them is a village called Hawkedon, and the other is a village called Hartest. So we'll try these roads and see how we get on. One or two of you mentioned in the comments in my last video that actually one of the advantages of doing these films in the sort of winter months is that you get to see a bit more of a landscape, and I think that's true actually. I think certainly here, where we're sort of looking out over the water meadows, you get a better impression than you might once the hedgerows were all in leaf. So if you take a bit of a diversion off the B1066 just past Hartest, you come to the village of Glemsford, and I thought I'd just show you this magnificent church. Isn't that fantastic? And what we'll do is we'll just drop down the hill and pick up the main road again, which will take us on our way to Hawkedon. But I thought it was worth just taking this quick diversion just to show you another part of the wonderful Suffolk landscape. And this is just the route back down the hill, as it were, from Glemsford down to the 1066. Well, we're looking at the River Glen, obviously at the bottom. And as I was saying when we started off in Long Melford at those maltings, you know, these rivers were an important method of transporting everything, including grain. This, I think, is one of the prettiest villages in this part of Suffolk. In some ways, it sort of reminds me, I suppose, more of the kind of villages I've seen in North Yorkshire. But that may just be sort of fanciful thinking. The road we're on at the moment is the B1066, and this is a road which runs between Bury St Edmunds and Long Melford, basically. So we're sort of coming back round in a loop, but this again is one of my favourite roads to drive. Cherry blossoms just started to emerge. There's a little bit more of it on this side of the county than there is where I am in the east, which is a little bit closer to the coast, or at least that's what it seems like. Again, this is the kind of route or part of Suffolk that most tourists don't venture onto, and yet for me it's a perfect route to take to sort of discover something about Suffolk's character and landscape, and obviously just wonderful driving roads. They're a lot better when they're dry, of course, but even today, you know, we've been really lucky. And they give the opportunity to put an old car like this through its paces. Again, this is a really pretty spot, and yeah, we're greeted once again by the brave spring daffodils in cherry blossom. I have to say, yesterday when it was pouring with rain, I began to feel very pessimistic about life, but this has been just the tonic I need. It proves that better weather is ahead. Better driving days. it's a real privilege for me to be able to share them with you. You see these lovely old thatched cottages here. And you've got this sort of fabulous village green. What I'll do is I'm going to see if I can just drive and loop you round so you can sort of get a sense of what there is. Wonderful pub called the Crown. Perfect place for lunch. We'll take a run up the hill, turn around and come down. Reminds me a little bit of Kersey, where we went last year in Tess. Bit more of the thatched cottages. Wonderful old Suffolk barn, one that hasn't yet been converted into a house. I'm just going to flip round here. I'm going to go back down the village. See if we can loop up round the green. I think for me it's the colours of some of these houses that really makes it stunning. You can see this yellow one ahead of us with its jetted first floor, and then the leaded oriel windows of the one next door. Just fantastic. So I hope you've enjoyed this little outing with me and Bess, and the chance to have a look at some of the wonderful architecture and landscape of these Suffolk villages over in the west of the county. I think this is just one of the prettiest parts of the east of England that you're likely to come across, and certainly worth visiting if you get the chance. And a bit like Hawkedon and Hartest, is sort of nestled in this little valley with a church at the lower part of the village. You can see we're looking just across the green there. But yeah, really, really spectacular. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this trip out, and I know I've certainly had a great time, and these twisty roads are just an absolute treat. So if you get the chance, get your car out, find the B1066 in Suffolk, and have a run out between Bury and Long Melford. And in the meantime, I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Take care.